He made all sorts of promises in his mind. My name is Agba. Ba means father. I will be a father to you, Sham, and when you are grown, the multitudes will bow before you, and you will be king of the wind. I promise it. Continuing my read through the Newbery Award winners, today we have King of the Wind, the story of the Godolphin Arabian by Marguerite Henry. Marguerite Henry was born in 1902 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She was the youngest of 5 children, and her father owned a print shop. She had a lot of fond memories of spending time with him there. She began to write her own stories, and at the age of 11, she sold her first story to Delineator magazine. She also wrote for her high school newspaper and continued to write as she attended Milwaukee State Teachers College. After she married, her husband encouraged her to continue writing, and she sold many stories to various magazines. Inspired by the stories of her Finnish cook, she wrote a story starring 2 children from Finland. That book did so well that she turned her attention to writing children's books. 2 previous books won the Newbery honor. Justin Morgan Had a Horse in 1946, and her probably most well-known book, Misty of Chincoteague, won the honor in 1948. But then the next year, in 1949, King of the Wind actually took the medal. She always researched her books very thoroughly, even traveling to the places where events took place in order to make sure that children learned something while also enjoying a good story. King of the Wind fictionalizes the start of the Godolphin Arabian line and follows the story of Sham, an Arabian stallion, and his caretaker, a boy named Agba. Sham is born with 2 marks, one a lucky one and one a sign of ill fortune, but Agba steps in and convinces the stable master to keep the horse and is convinced that he will one day grow up to be a great racer and great stallion. Agba really is the main character of this, even though it's ostensibly about Sham, because he is the one who basically makes sure that the horse survives and is cared for and spends his whole life dedicated to this horse that he falls in love with from the moment he helps foal him. The story opens in Morocco, but Sham and Agba are chosen as part of a gift to be sent to the boy king of France, Louis XV. However, on the journey over, the horses and their caretakers are very badly mistreated, and they arrive in terrible condition, and the king is less than impressed, and he only keeps Sham to basically use as a workhorse. Very quickly they fall into disfavor because Sham pretty much only listens to Agba, and he's so high-spirited, he's really not designed as a workhorse. This starts a long chain of really difficult, challenging situations, most of them not great, where Sham is rejected by owners or beaten down by owners because of his high spirits and his feistiness. And Agba follows him whether he's invited to or not, because he has made this promise to care for this horse until the day the horse or he pass away. Finally, Agba's persistence and care end up paying off, and Sham is recognized for what he really is and becomes the father of a great bloodline of racehorses, including one of the most famous racehorses, Man o' War. There were elements of this story that reminded me a little bit of the book Black Beauty, with the horse going through a variety of masters and kind of being mistreated until he's redeemed at the end. The biggest difference is that Sham has Agba. He has this faithful companion who does not abandon him and who insists on him being treated the way that he should, and often puts his own life at risk in order to protect the horse. I really loved Agba's character. I love the way that he is portrayed, and mild spoiler, though it's revealed pretty early on, Agba actually can't speak. So his connection with animals and with this horse in particular really seemed to come out of his sensitivity, because he doesn't have other ways to express himself. He's very attuned to things that other people might miss. However, it's not like a big, huge plot point. It just is. It's just part of who he is, and it's not seen as a deficit, which I really appreciated. The relationship between Sham and Agba is fun, and then there's this addition of a cat named Grimalkin, and I just love this picture of like the 3 of them. You've got Agba riding Sham and the cat like perching there, and it was a fun mental picture that Henry draws. There are a lot of rough patches, and there are some scenes that could be really upsetting, particularly to younger or more sensitive readers, so it is something, there's animal cruelty, it still could be upsetting to some readers. One thing that I really liked was that she gives a bibliography in the back. She talks about the books that she consulted and where she found some of this information, and I just really loved that aspect of this author and this book. This book does show its age a little bit, but it actually was a lot more respectful of some of the different cultures and some of the different aspects than I expected, and overall I think this holds up really well. It's a really good adventure story, a horse story. It's very focused on the characters and kind of what they're going through, so it's a little bit more character than plot driven, but a really good book, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Next up we have The Door in the Wall by Marguerite D'Angeli. Thanks and happy reading!